This was my 1973 Volkswagen Super Beetle. You might be wondering, why would I say was? Well, that's simple. Because it's no longer a Volkswagen. And over the past year or so, I've taken a perfectly good running Porsche 986 Boxster and a perfectly running 1303 Super Beetle and made this Frankenstein of a car. Clearly, I am not finished yet, but it's to the point where I can start it, but it still needs a lot of work. In this video, I'm going to be tackling the coolant system from front to rear. Hardest part, I already got the radiator mounted. Just got to run the lines, got to figure out how to put the coolant ball in. Let's get into it. We are going to be finishing this shroud, and might be, well, no, I won't even say might. We'll finish this shroud and we'll finish patching in this side because this is where the hoses are going to go through. Not going to worry about that side for now. Just kind of want to get the radiator finished and in place. Made a template, cut it out in metal, and we're going to see how well it fits. Might have to add a little, take a little away, but I mean, not too bad. I'll probably trim up the edges to get it a little bit better looking, but I'm gonna drill some holes right there and there, just so I can tack weld it to the brackets, clean everything up, and at least give it a coat of paint. We got it all welded together, so now those are all one piece. It all just kind of goes on there and bolts together. I threw some paint on it, that way it just didn't rust a whole bunch, but now I'm going to work on the inside of this wheel well, get it all patched up and at least covered completely. That way I can figure out where I'm going to put the holes, probably right there and down there. So I can figure out where to run the coolant lines in the wheel wells and then get them underneath the car and hook into the factory stuff. I'll get this pulled out and start on that. We got this side all welded up. I think I'm going to be running one coolant line right here and the other one down here, depending on if there's space. I think there is a spot right there that'll be perfect for it. So the bolt just come from the driver's side, loop to the passenger, go down on the wheel well, then drop underneath the car, and then connect to the original two lines that come from the engine to the front that just kind of down the, I guess it's a transmission tunnel, but there's no transmission there. But it just comes down the center tunnel. So then I'll just be able to connect them up there, not worry about anything on the back half, and then we should be good to go. And we might actually get to drive this thing soon. It is a new day. I got a hole saw. And this hole saw should be good enough. All I need is one hole there and one hole there. And that will allow coolant pipes to get into that fender. And then I just have to connect them to the center, loop them down, whatever. Once I get the holes drilled, well, actually, before I drill the holes, I'm gonna jack it up, pull this fender, figure out the best way to put them. And then once I get the holes drilled, put the radiator in, run the hoses to the firewall, and then we'll just piece it together from there. Alright, well, let's clear out all this stuff, move the radiator, move the hood. now that we got passenger fender off, radiator put in place, we can figure out where we need to align the holes for the coolant pipes. And it looks like this one can go about right there, and the lower one should be able to go in between the frame horn and the lower control arm mount, which will be about right here. So I guess I'll mark those out, get the holes cut, and hopefully don't have to cut more holes. I got these holes cut in the side, radiator mounted, made sure that the radiator fan clears it, just barely, but it clears it. Now I have to go underneath the car, cut the old pipes off, and start fitting the new stuff on. Got the car jacked up on jack stands. That way we can take a better look at the coolant pipes. So both sides converge to right there. So I'm just going to go around, pull all these brackets off, drop it down a little bit, cut it off probably right at that seam. Probably before the seam on this side. That way there's a rib. And then make my own pipes that go same place pretty much, but it'll all be 1.5 inches instead of 3/4. Well, that turned out to be a lot more work than I expected, but see that spot right there? Get closer. Right there. That will be where I run the coolant lines through. One to here, one to here. But in order for me to get all the coolant lines off, involved a sawzall and an angle grinder. But I cut these right here. Those will go back up in there. Belly pan will cover everything. Just do couplers off of each individual one. This one goes to the top of the radiator. This one goes to the bottom. Now I just got to get them routed. And once I get there, I'll do a little update, show how it is. I'm gonna have a lot more couplers right now than I will when it's finished, mainly because I don't have access to a TIG welder in Connor's shop. This is a combination of like 3 hours of work, so it took a lot longer than I expected, but now we're done and ready to reroute some stuff. Well, another day, another beat video. Alright, we have some coolant lines. They don't look the best, they're a little ugly, but that'll get fixed later. But this will be enough to get us to be able to cool the engine for now. The only part I don't really like is the multiple connections right here. I'd like to get just one piece that goes all the way to here to here, but I'm working with what I got. So I got to get the fans in, make sure it clears everything, and run the return. It should be good. Or I guess that's the return. That's the overflow. Run the return, which I should be able to use the factory line because it is this size. And that fits perfectly on there. So I'll just run one of the factory lines where it should go and get that plumbed in and button up the bottom. Now that we have all of the coolant lines ran up front, got to work on the coolant reservoir in the back, and I bought this aluminum one when I first started this project, and I always figured it'd go in this back corner, which I already cut out a little circle just to see if it fits. And I mean, it fits like that, opens and closes with the deck lid, but I don't really like the way that is. So I'm gonna be cutting more out and hopefully have this exposed a little bit, and then I'll put like a rubber seal, that way it doesn't rub through the aluminum. But I think I'm gonna like that a lot more. That'll also give me a way to come further off the bottom to go into the factory supply for the engine coolant. And all of this is factory, this whole plastic piece is factory. I just cut it off of the factory coolant ball, and the rag's there, that way nothing goes inside the engine. I'm gonna cut that out, get this mounted up, and go from there. Hopefully I like it and I don't have to patch in a bunch of metal. I figured out how I'm gonna be putting the coolant reservoir in. It is right there. Put the deck lid on just to make sure I have clearance. But once it's all mounted in, it should sit perfectly away from the deck lid. It clears it without touching at all. And with it in place and mounted, it still leaves me quite a bit of space inside the trunk. I just have to go to the hardware store and get a different, I don't know if you can see it. No. There is a, oh yeah, right there. The straight brass fitting right there. I need to get a 90-degree one so it can go into that hose right there. I'm gonna go get it today and then finish that up tomorrow. Put all the hose clamps on and hopefully pressurize the system. I think that is all for this episode. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment down below what you would like to see next. I know, obviously, once I get the coolant system done, I still have to do the rest of the fenders. But then I'm thinking either the dash or the back luggage area. Let me know. What would you rather see? Thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.